more sleep until the fifth or sixth or seventh major of the year, the 3M Open. Wanted to get on here, talk about some narratives, talk about some plays, answer any questions before we tee it off, finish up my DFS lineups. And yeah, nothing too crazy. Wanted to get in a few guys had interviews. Billy Horschel, Troy Merritt, Keegan Bradley. And the overwhelming consensus was it was very soft. The golf course was very soft, softer than normal. The fairways were not running out as much as they used to. So that does two things. That emphasizes total driving. That emphasizes driving distance. So, I mean, it's a little late. I kind of went towards the path that you don't have to be a bomber this week. And I mean, that still remains true. If you're hitting a fairway, you could hit it to 15 feet with a 5-iron, where you could hit it to 15 feet with an 8-iron too. Like it's not going to change completely. Like it doesn't make the guys who don't carry it 310, like boned, but I think it's going to emphasize it a little bit more. So if you have a guy that you want to lean with, or deciding between 2 or 3 guys, go with the guy who's got the longer driving distance, because with the soft fairways, the balls are going to land in the fairway and stay in the fairway much more than they will. So Troy Merritt said that he hopes it's going to firm up a little bit over the weekend, but he says that they've gotten a lot of rain in that area for a while, and it is softer than they've seen it in the past. So no real overwhelming narratives. Billy Horschel said he was tired, but he's up at 7:30 in the morning, grinding, ready to be here, and feels like he's playing great golf. And he said, I didn't withdraw because I'm in the midst of playing good golf. I don't want to ruin it, which, like, yeah, I guess it makes sense. You want to play when you're playing good. So outside of that, no massive overwhelming narratives or concerns that you'd have to be concerned about with how any of the golfers are playing or what they said. So let's talk about some bets, some DFS plays, and maybe an underdog player too, and get out of here. So top of the board. The top of the board is definitely a massive question. I don't think you want to go with the Tony route. I think the number is too short, and I think his gauge, his over under finishing position is 6 or 7.5. Which, yeah, another top 10 would be great. I think his top 10 at plus money is a nice bet, but I don't think at 11-1 he's really worth it right now, because there's just a ton of hungry young golfers. I mean, everyone has to win first. That's why you got to take chances that don't. No, not everyone's stat profile is going to look perfect. If that was the case, Keith Mitchell would win 3 times a year. You gotta take your chances. So I think there's chances to take with the Akshay Bhatiyas of the world, the Sahith Theegalas of the world, even the guys in the 30-1 range. Like I like Sahith. I like Tom Hoge at 25 and 30-1. So, like, what are you gonna say? Like, oh, Tom Hoge's only won once until he wins twice. You know who else only won once until they won twice? Nick Dunlap. So yeah, I like Sahith. I really do. I know his course history is bad, but his number's drifting, and it's drifting for a reason. Like, I'm not worried about course history with Sahith ever. And like, you could say, oh, he just missed the cut in Scotland, but he also just finished T4 in Scotland the week before. That alone just shows how volatile of a golfer Sahith Theegala was. He almost won the damn Scottish Open, and then he missed the cut by a million at Troon. Now, there's obviously different golf courses and a little bit style of golf, but it's still links golf, and he had 2 massive outlier weeks, or different ends of the spectrum weeks on back-to-back weeks. It just shows how volatile he is, and his course history is kind of rubbing off on his DFS ownership too. He's one of the lesser-owned guys in the top of the range, and I think that makes him a good play, because I want to go with Tony. I think he's safer. Sam Burns looks good, and the shiny new toy Akshay. I think Sahith is a good click up top, and he's going to be my only click up top in terms of DFS. I do think there's a path for fading the top of the leaderboard, top of the big 4. Like, there's a world where where Sahith, Sam Burns, Akshay, or Tone don't finish inside the T10, and I love the 7K range. I'll name a few names that I love, because there's so I'm not going to go into them deeply, because I love completely the 7K range. Just from top to bottom, I think Kurt K is a great play. Mike Thorbjornsen. If you like Luke Clan at 9.97, play Mike Thorbjornsen. They have the exact same ceiling, and one's $2,000 cheaper. I like Kurt K up top. Michael Thorbjornsen. Chan Kim was the last man off my betting card, which means he'll probably win. I couldn't get to him because I couldn't justify his price when I could bet a few guys like 100-1 plus, which I'll get there. So I like it, but I like him in DFS. I mean, he's chalky, but I like him as a golfer. I don't know if I'm going to get there in DFS, but I like him. So Chan, and then the 7.5 range between Rico, Matt Wallace, and John Vegas. I think one of those guys will finish inside the top 10. Svensson also is a great bullet at 7-4. And Doug Game, I really like going into the week too, but he's getting a little bit chalky, and a chalky Doug Game never really makes sense. I think Seamus Power is a great pivot off of him. And then one of JJ Spawn, Hayden Springer, Matthias Schmid, Matty Schmidt, sorry, and Hayden Buckley. I think one of those 4 golfers is going to be in the optimal lineup. And I bet all of those guys at 125 to 175. I think they're all just decent young guys who have shown good things of late and have a really high ceiling. Keegan talked about the Ryder Cup, and he also talked about how like his game feels like it's in a good spot. But they asked him like added pressures and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, a little bit, but I feel fine. I'm ready to play well here. I'm ready to win." Are you a fade on Keegan? I don't think I'm a fading him, but I don't really like, I'm not playing him, but so I guess technically I'm playing him, but I don't think it's because of the captaincy. But also like ask yourself this, like, does Keegan Bradley ever win on the PGA Tour again? I kind of was pondering that question with myself the past like 2 nights. I'm gonna say no. Like I'm gonna say no, and I like Keegan. Like I bet Keegan a lot. I'm just gonna say no because it's like he's Ryder Cup captain. Just doesn't feel like Keegan's gonna win again. There's so many young studs that are ready to take that narrative away from him. Just ready to win. Some other guys that I like in terms of betting. Let's see. JJ Spawn. Like I bet JJ Spawn the last 3 weeks and he hasn't done anything well. But I'm going right back to him. I'm going right back to JJ. No, his stats are really good. He's gained that approach in 10 straight starts. And like, yeah, pretty damn good for JJ. And he's gotten into the mix a little bit. I think he is a good bet at 90 to 1. Some other nuggets that I want to talk about. Taylor Pendrith, 40 to 1. He posted his best approach week or his best ball striking week in 2 years and second best of his entire career. And mainly with the driver. His driver's kind of been bad this season. But when you think of Taylor Pendrith, if you know Taylor Pendrith, he's like an elite level driver of the golf ball, and it's kind of came back. Like he's driven it well the last 2 weeks. The approach play stays solid, and he's got to keep that pedal down with the President's Cup on the docket. Like he doesn't want to lose that spot. A couple 6K plays, not going to go too deep into the 6K range. We'll tell you why I like these guys because I have a whole show dedicated to that. But from 6'8" to 6'2", I like Alejandro Tosti, Chris Gotterup, Bud Cauley, Ches Reavie, Austin Smotherman, and Will Gordon, all for different reasons, but I think they're decent bullets inside that 6K range. And then finally, let's talk about underdog fantasy a little bit. I like 2 underdog fantasy plays for the week. I think Tony Finau less than 5 birdies is a good play because I'm in the camp of Tony Finau doesn't care about winning golf tournaments. He cares about cashing a check. And this line is a premium. Maybe tomorrow it moves to 4 or 4.5, and then we could take the over. But I'm gonna go with Tony Finau less than 5 birdies. I just think the line is too high on a golfer who I don't think is all the way there right now. And then another leg that I like for underdog fantasy is going to be Patrick Rodgers less than 2.5 bogeys. I love what Patrick Rodgers is doing off the tee. Also think he's a great DFS play. He's hitting the ball so long and so straight. His iron play is a liability, but where he's positioning himself off the tee, I expect him to hit greens, make comfy pars, a few birdies, and that should just be less than 2.5 bogeys. I can see him making 1 or 2 mistakes, but I think those 2 should definitely cash. So good luck if you tail those underdog plays. And outside of that, nothing really crazy. The top of the DFS range, like I said, I think there's a path to fading. I love the 7K range, and you guys know where to find all the cards. You guys know where to find them at Jers Way Betting on Twitter. So any questions? The first round leaders are out there too. Let's keep hitting. Let's keep winning. DM me if you have any questions. I'll catch you Friday night with the final thoughts. Also, we have to wake up early because we got Carnoustie very soon in a few hours. Padraig Harrington, 4.5 to 1. Mortal lock. Bonus. That's a bonus inside baseball take. So catch you guys Friday. Peace out.